All right, what's up? Welcome back. This is What's the Remedy Podcast. It's your boy, Dr. J.
Mr. Wash.
Ashley Ray.
And this is your weekly conversation over mental health, social issues, and other contributing factors playing in society. This is What's the Remedy Podcast. How's everybody doing?
Awesome.
Great.
That's
I'm
great.
blessed and highly favored.
And highly favored. That's what you need to be.
Smile.
Blessed and highly favored.
Smile, bitch.
Come on.
I've been saying blessed and highly favored?
You're for real.
No, you're good. Bitch is in the Bible.
Bitch is not in the
In
Bible.
the dictionary?
Isn't it? A lot of shit is in the dictionary.
Anyway.
How you switch that fast?
It's just the dictionary? And she said it like it was a question. Like she really wasn't sure. Is bitch in the dictionary? Yes, actually, bitch is in the dictionary.
We just came back from Taco Tuesday, so y'all gonna get what I give y'all. Taco Tuesday.
You are.
She got all tacos and Bud Light.
Yeah. Tacos and beer.
Don't talk about business.
Tacos and beer. Anyway, how's everybody weekend and all that?
Name of the episode.
Yeah. Tacos and beer.
Weekend.
You don't know what you did this week.
Oh, yeah. It was cool. Yeah, I was trying to think.
What you
It was
do?
cool.
What you do?
What'd you do? It was just cool.
It was cool. Cold and cool.
Cold and cool.
Cold and cool.
It wasn't cold. Was it
It was
cold?
cold
It
as
was cold.
hell Saturday. I didn't even want to go out that night.
What did I do Saturday? Why do I not remember cold this
You
Saturday?
like to drink.
What you do before we went to the B-Day party?
Oh, y'all went out Saturday.
Yeah, we went Saturday night. Oh, yeah, it was cold.
Yeah, it was cold.
Saturday night. I forgot about that.
That went low. I was like,
Yeah, it was cutting. I don't know. I worked out.
Oh.
Worked out Saturday morning.
I went to work.
Ate some breakfast. I made myself some breakfast. Oh, I had these like protein pancakes. So like I ordered this from like some deal that was on Amazon one
You
time. And
ordered from Amazon.
yeah, I do. It's really good. But like these protein pancakes were like they were cheap at the time. And I never used them, and so I tried them the other day because I was like, I'm trying not to eat bread, but I had these protein pancakes, so I was like, let me try them. They were actually really good.
Mm.
So I recommend them. They were MetRx, I guess. I don't remember what the brand was. I think that's the brand, MetRx.
I
Yeah.
don't like pancakes.
Yeah, but their pancakes were good. You don't like pancakes?
No.
What's your waffles?
I like waffle
I
chicken.
prefer French toast to pancakes.
Oh.
You know what I usually do and what I may do next time is
Shrimp and grits.
no, hell no. I don't like grits.
I like grits.
I don't eat it.
Damn, y'all not from the South.
I mean, I'll eat grits. If somebody make grits, I'll eat them. But I'm not gonna go out of my way to eat
You got
grits.
to get your grits on.
Like I ain't gonna be in the restaurant and be like, oh, y'all got some grits. I ain't
Oh,
gonna do
yeah.
that.
Yeah, I'm not.
It depends. If they grits good, I like it.
I mean, it depends on what though.
Grits, I like grits.
No, you said it depends on if you gonna get them.
If the grits are good, I'm going to
How you gonna know if you don't get them?
Grits.
That's why you got to get them.
Grits look like the stuff that like they just gave you like in a bowl. They had nothing else to give
I
you.
forgot
They
you
just-
don't like black people shit.
You're right.
Yeah,
But I eat this one.
eat that
You
stuff
gonna
from the
get that
slave
bait.
quarters. Grits is in the slave quarters.
Yeah, they just put it in the bowl and here you go, niggas. And you be like, thank you, please, can I have some more?
Make
sir?"
sure you eat enough to have energy for the work day. That's all.
Mm.
But yeah,
Rule is grits.
But yeah, next time I have a waffle maker at the house. I'll turn my little pancake mix into waffles. All you gotta do is like add a little egg or something.
Oh.
It'd be good.
And chicken.
And chicken what?
Chicken and waffles.
Chicken and waffles. That's really nigga shit, man. Like I always was like,
What are we talking about?
yeah, chicken and waffles. Like you ever go somewhere for like brunch, and then the first thing somebody would be like, "Ooh, do they got chicken and waffles?" That's all
I
like
like
people
chicken
always
and
ask.
Like
Like-
50-15 got some jerk chicken that was good. With some, their waffles was off the chain. You right, I do like waffles. Because it was like a pecan type of waffle. It was good.
Cause like you be going to brunch spots and like people don't be ordering nothing but chicken and waffles. Like what else do y'all eat for brunch? Chicken and waffles is the only brunch for me.
I like omelets. I like to make omelets.
Omelets are good.
Yeah.
You know what? Speaking of chicken and waffles though, there's this place that closed down over there in Greens Point called Reese's. Reese's used to have some good ass chicken and waffles. And they used to they had like a different waffle every month. Like one time they had red velvet waffles.
See?
They had pound cake waffles.
See?
It was
I think they take good.
It was good. Like, I guess because of the area it was in, it didn't last that long. But I mean, it lasted for a while I was living over there in that area off 45. But then, like, I went back not too long after that. It was gone. Yeah, I lived off 40. Well, I lived off 45 in 1960.
Oh, you did that back.
But I'd go there because that's the lady who used to do my hair was right there in that area.
Yeah.
I used to get my dreads done over there. And then I found that Reese's place right there, that little shopping center right by that mall that was all shut down and shit. Yeah.
Guns Point.
Yeah, Guns Point. But yeah, so anyway, that was a part of my weekend. What else did y'all do for the weekend?
Oh, we went to the address.
Oh yeah, I was there with you.
Yeah.
The address.
We was at the
Turned up.
Turned.
turn.
Super turned. I don't know why you shaking your head. You was hype. I seen you in people's snaps that like you don't even know.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Oh, that's not right.
Yeah, like you was up in people's snaps.
That's
and stuff.
life.
I was like, man, look at that.
They in my snaps.
Yeah, I'm sure they were.
That's what I'm saying. I seen like 4 different people snaps from the address, and everybody, all of y'all was just running around to each of the snaps and shit.
Yeah.
I'm
We
like,
were like all over the place. They had to tell me to get down off of something. I was like,
Yeah.
yeah.
You know how you like people stand on couches, and so like these couches had like there was a couch,
Oh,
and then there was like a
good.
back to the couch.
mhm.
Ashley was standing on the back of the couch, so she was way above everybody else. Like everybody else, you know, standing on couches like normal because we're in a section or whatever. Ashley gonna stand up on the back of the thing against the wall, and dude's like, "Hey, get down, get
Like I
down!"
said,
Like she acted like dude was hyping her up.
Yeah.
Or something. I was like, "No,
Get
nigga."
your ass down. Get your ass off the furniture.
basically.
Ashley was climbed up all the walls and shit.
I told Tracy, I'm going to get on that speaker. Yeah, I was tripping. I thought it was my birthday for a minute.
Yeah, Ashley was too
I was
loud.
just happy black people were having fun.
Yeah, it was fun though. I give it that. I mean, I personally, I don't like to support. I mean, I like to say I don't like to support.
No, you text me. I
I
said
said
I wasn't going to lie this year.
Nah, I said I was going home. I wasn't
No,
gonna
you
support
said-
that shit.
I ain't supporting this nigga shit.
Yeah. I said I hate nigga shit. Because I was standing in line at 5:50 and they were holding the line all the way back to the back of the
I
building.
think I texted you. They got a line out there. 'Cause I kept
Yeah.
looking like, damn, that line long.
And that's what I said. I was like, damn, this line long. I bet it's hard to get in or something. They were holding people, letting people in one person at a time at 5:50. I was like, damn, this is some bullshit.
They
And
were
as soon as
just
6
mad.
o'clock hit,
They were just mad
they just
because
flowed in.
the Saints lost. Like, shit just went down after that. I promise people were looking sad.
I mean, I'm sure
as fuck.
people were mad, but niggas do that regardless. They gonna hold the line because they want the money.
The Saints would have won. They probably was like charging like 30, 40 at the level.
Are you serious?
Because they had the part of it hype, and it's been like a lot of hype and shit.
They
But
tried
I
to,
just thought
okay.
about like people were off the next day. So
When we were trying to, well, I wasn't trying to skip the line because I wasn't even trying to be in line. I was trying to go home. But at one point, somebody asked about skipping the line. They were like, "Oh yeah, y'all can come up here." And it was a girl that was with us, and they told her, "Yeah, you can come on in, like not wait in line." And she was like, "Well, my homeboys back there too." They're like, "Oh, it's 40 for each of them." I'm like, "Nigga,
so they're gonna let the females in. So it's gonna be more of us in there.
yeah," because
So
that's
I
how
got-
it always works.
Why do I have to see so many females?
Because that's what brings niggas.
Because y'all want to get in there free, niggas gonna pay.
Yeah, we gonna
I
pay
don't
to
wanna-
see y'all. That's their point.
Man, I need y'all to have money to buy my drink. See, we gotta compromise.
Oh, niggas gonna do that anyway.
No, they're
'cause
not.
Niggas gonna try to stunt like they got money. And
Yeah, I bet you
nigga
niggas
like
was
me?
broke. Oh, I know some niggas like, man, I spent all that money.
Yeah,
Good
niggas
luck.
going out there spending like a few $100s and then you be mad. I know I'd be mad. A regular night out for me when I would be like spending is at least 100. Like I can't get out of nowhere without spending 100.
Yeah, I used to do that. I don't do that.
And that's stupid. Like that's stupid to me. Period.
I just thought about that. I was like, you know what? I used to spend at least about $80.
Yeah, it's whack.
And I'm a female. I don't mind buying my own shit because it means I ain't got to talk to you.
I mean, true.
I'm like, I'm good.
Because if I buy you a drink, you having a conversation.
We belong together.
Yeah.
No, I don't be belong
We together for the rest of the night.
What's the next night?
Hey, shout out to oh dude had a nice sweater on Sunday.
Who
What it
is
say?
And black girls got the juice. I was
Oh.
like, yeah, we do. Anyway.
Hey, I give him his props for his advertisement. That's how he got them.
Yeah, because that's how you draw me in right there.
Yeah. And then we had some birthdays.
Yeah, there's some birthdays going on.
Happy birthday, Akela
Uh-huh.
and the boy, Gino.
The
boy, Gene.
The boy.
Yeah.
Y'all was doing the most. I'm just letting y'all niggas know y'all was doing the most.
Actually, you were doing more than them, and it wasn't even your birthday. So you can't call nobody out. You can't call nobody out for doing the most.
Anyway, we done with the weekend. we done
we
with the
not even going
weekend.
any deeper into what you
Oh
ain't
my
going
God,
on.
I sit on that couch.
Yeah.
Nigga made me get off.
Yeah, and it wasn't like the couch off in like a corner either. It was like where everybody could see her
Yeah.
standing on the couch. And I was like, dawg, what the fuck? I didn't even know she was up there till the dude ran over there trying to get her off of it. And I was like, oh my God, Ashley, what is going on?
Kick your ass out.
You know, get your ass kicked out the club.
Okay.
Yeah,
I don't
whatever.
have nothing to say because I don't remember it that much.
Yeah, no, you were wired, but it was
I
good.
mean-
It was fun. I'll give you that. It was fun. So I ain't mad at that at all.
No, everybody made it safe. We were cool.
It was a testament to how fun it was
Mm.
to see
I wrote
Ashley
it in my
standing on
spirit
the couch.
diary. Ooh, no.
Turn.
That actually was a regular night for me, so I was cool.
Yeah,
I'm like, yeah, that's
everybody ain't Ashley. To be
It ain't
talking
Turk.
like that all the time.
I didn't know. Anyway, what we talking about today?
All right, so we're gonna move right along. We're gonna move right along to the main segment, the check-in style segment. So for today, what we're kind of gonna talk about, basically, and this comes from we'll get into the topic of why we talked about this. But basically, we're gonna talk about just giving people credit when it's due, or getting your own credit when you do, or do you feel like you get the credit that you deserve? So basically, we're gonna talk about getting the deserved credit. Now, is there anything that you do personally that you can think of that you don't get enough credit for?
Hell yeah.
What's that? Go ahead.
Go ahead. Say what you feel.
Credit?
Yeah, getting credit. Who don't give you what do you not get credit for? What do you do
Family.
well?
My job.
You do your job well and they don't give you credit?
I mean, I used to do it well. They don't give me credit, so I'm not doing it no more.
So wait, how would you expect credit on your job is the question.
Credit?
How do
Where's
you
my
expect?
raise at?
Oh, so monetary gains, compensation,
Yeah.
monies.
Money.
What if they gave you a
No, ain't nothing they can give me other than money.
they give you a certificate, an award to hang up at your desk? Be like, Ashley is employee of the week.
Employee of the week, employee of the month.
You don't think employee of the month is
That's cool. They don't do that either. They don't even say you doing a good job. They just be like, oh, we so used to it.
So you would be happy if somebody just said, "Hey, we appreciate."
I probably
what you
back
did."
then would have been happy. Right now, I'm not. I don't.
You don't care about that now.
No.
What if it's just a mass email and they send a mass email out and be like, "Hey, everybody, Ashley did a good job.
Exceptional worker of the week.
Man, my job's so messed up. I get that, but nobody says congratulations because they don't like me. It's cool.
Oh, well, damn, you're actually getting credit then, though. If they
Sometimes it depends because they know so many people don't dislike my ass. They don't really like to give me no credit. Because I'll write an email back. Thank you for the lovely teamwork. I'm petty as fuck. So thank you for the lovely teamwork. I love this job. Smiley face, smiley face, smiley face.
I mean,
I wouldn't give you shit.
yeah, I wouldn't give you shit either. I wouldn't
Why?
even respond to you, no.
Yeah, for real.
But
I would look you every time.
Why?
Because you're petty.
I'm petty as fuck.
But I mean, technically, you get an
Let's
appreciation.
not talk about the job. That's bullshit. But family.
I mean, no, but that's real shit. That's good. That's.
Family-wise,
You think you don't get credit from your family or appreciation from your
are
family?
you serious? That's true.
Nobody ever says anything to you.
Say thank you.
I mean, okay, thank you is one thing, but thank you, I feel like thank you is real.
Generic.
Yeah, saying thank
Say
you.
you're a
for something is
great
generic.
daughter. You do the most. You do everything I ask you to do. And more.
I think.
Shut up.
Go start for Ashley.
Yeah. You want a thumbs up?
Instead of telling me shit I don't do.
That dinner was yummy.
I mean, so you think that they'll approach you about things you do wrong, but they don't give you credit for the things you do right?
Of course.
Why?
Because that's how. What?
I mean, but why do you think?
What?
You can't figure that one out.
Stop.
Why do you
That's
think?
just Gert.
Why do you think she like that? Why do you think that she don't give you that kind of credit? Why don't she
Because I'm
show you
supposed to do
appreciation?
it. It's not appreciation. I mean, you're supposed to do it.
Let me ask you this: do you show her appreciation?
Yeah.
Like you go out of your way to say, I appreciate what you did for me when you did this, or here I'm giving you this because of all the great things, and not because it's her birthday or just
Because I believe in giving, flowers and stuff and saying, hey, thank you for everything. I do. I believe in saying that. Like even my brother, I probably tell him man, I tell him encouraging things and what he did for me, what he wrote to me, but he actually does.
He actually shows appreciation.
Yeah, it took a while. We'll talk about that later. Yeah.
Who you point to?
The camera.
The camera. We'll be right back.
If you're looking, if you're watching this.
It's just because we talked about it. Like, me and him really talked.
Yeah.
We didn't grow up like that. We didn't grow. You were supposed to do this anyway.
Yeah. Like,
nobody's supposed to tell you, nice job. You're supposed to do this.
I feel like a lot of people grew up like that because, I mean, well, depending on what side of my family we talking about. Because, like, my dad's side, like, my dad was that type of person where it was like, I'm not finna give you no thanks for what you were supposed to do. Like, you don't get applauded for going and doing what you were supposed to do.
But some of y'all men won't apply. Like,
I
y'all
do
want
applaud.
us to say, oh man, look at his Instagram. He takes pictures with his kids. He's such a good father. You're supposed to be a good father.
That's
Next
different.
picture. Like the picture, move on.
Well, don't even like the picture. How about
Don't
that?
even like the picture. I don't like that nigga
you
picture.
Scroll right past the picture.
Now
with
you
his
a
kids.
daddy. Now you a daddy. I'm just saying. You know.
Wait, what you mean? Now you daddy? Because
Now
you
you a
wasn't daddy
daddy.
before?
Nah.
Yeah, because you posting it not like you're a good father. But
Now you a daddy? You a good father?
you don't hear nothing else about your kids any other time.
Right.
So don't applaud him for being a good
You a
father.
dad. You're supposed to be a good dad. That's
So-
life.
So we can do the same thing for women. Like if one
No, we
takes pictures of
good.
their kid.
No. Anyway.
I
Women
feel like
don't do that. Men really post.
huh,
Women don't. Women don't do that.
huh.
We'll post our kids. I don't have no kids, but I see my homegirls posting their kids, but men will post their shit and be like, my son, my daughter, but
My world,
that's women.
my everything.
You're right, that's women.
Thank you.
My kid.
My
Shut up.
kid.
I know you were gonna say that. That's women.
The one and only love I need.
Who says that?
A lot of women say that.
They been hurt.
I know that. I'm just saying that like
Cause you need
the
more
same
love
thing-
than a little 5-year-old.
the same thing applies to women as it does men as far as posting your kids and stuff. I think it's laudable for either side. I think you can applaud people for if that's what they do. Then I'm like, hey, I like to see women taking care of their kids because a lot of women don't. I know it's supposed to be that women do. A lot of women have their kids, but they don't do well by their kids. And so, like, to see women actually doing positive things with the kids or doing working on math stuff with them, I know
The
that
majority of the women do take care of their kids. Men don't.
That is, the majority of women have custody of the kids. We'll say that.
So and then most of men pay just child support or don't pay it and don't see their kids.
I won't say most of men don't pay their child support or don't see their kids, because I think that statistic is flawed. Because I think that there's a lot more men that actually are either in their child's life or pay child support or both.
What they see them on the weekend, every other
I
weekend.
know men that actually have custody of their child, and the woman doesn't.
I mean, stuff like that happens.
That's what I'm saying. But
But
I
that doesn't
think
make her a bad mother.
it doesn't make
Ain't
him a bad father.
ain't nobody bad on either side.
That's what I'm saying. Nobody has to be
Y'all
bad.
bad. No, men bad.
We're not going to have that conversation today.
That's what I'm saying.
You trying to play the
Nah,
game with
I'm
people.
playing that
I know you playing.
Mm-hmm.
I know you full of shit.
Y'all alright. I know some good men out there. I know some fucked up women. I mean,
Going back to what we talked about, just about like appreciation. Like I
Do
think
you
that we
feel
can show
appreciated?
appreciation. I think, yeah, I do at times.
that's
But I think that we can show appreciation for people even when it's like
y'all don't appreciate
you know that they
me.
fishing for it. So how do you feel about
Y'all don't appreciate me.
What you talking about?
we
Oh,
don't
no.
appreciate you?
Oh.
Stop just talking shit.
I know, just shut up.
Shut up, woman.
Shut up, damn it. I want to hear your mouth. But yeah, so I think that I think that appreciation can be. I mean, how do you feel about people like fishing for compliments and fishing for
I hate it.
appreciation? Do you
think mostly women do it or men?
I think both do it.
In the past, I would say more women, but today, it's
Man,
both.
men be doing it.
It's a
Like,
lot of
now I
men.
see, like, men, like, putting all this stuff on Instagram. Like, I gave this man $50 because he needed to get something
Yeah.
to eat, blah, blah, blah. I didn't need and took a picture with the homeless man. I don't need to know all that. So we could be like, oh, that's so great. Looking for that appreciation
yeah,
from someone.
People want the acknowledgement.
Yeah.
And
Is it really genuine, or did you do that for the gram? Like, I always want to know.
So sometimes, okay, so I actually watched. If you ever watched on Netflix, they got this documentary called like Insta Famous.
I tried to watch that.
I watched a few of them.
Which
for,
one
for
did
the
you
ones
watch?
that I actually knew.
No, yeah, I know
like,
the
I watched
fat
that
dude.
fat dude.
Okay,
one. I watched some other ones, but he actually made a valid point on his because they were talking about him going out on his Instagram and like giving out money to kids because like he'll go out and give like in the neighborhood in the hood and stuff he'll give $5 here, $1 there to all these little kids or whatever, and he'll have somebody come behind him filming it to post on Instagram, and they're talking about how people he got a lot of backlash because they're like, why you keep doing this just to post on Instagram?
Yeah. And
his response actually made some sense to me because he was like, well, I just feel like if I post myself doing it because my post is going to go viral because, like I said, the whole thing is about people being famous on Instagram, so everybody goes viral.
Right.
He's like, my post is going to go viral, so somebody else is going to want to go viral too. And so they're going to have to go out and do something similar to what I just did, giving money to people that need it in order for them to go viral. Okay. And so he's like, so if me posting this goes viral and it makes somebody else want to go do it just so that they can be like me, he said, that's fine. At least some people are getting help.
That is true.
But then the double-edged sword with that is you hoping everybody has the same thought process that you have.
Right.
To be like, oh, I'm going to do it. You doing it to help somebody out. I'm going to help somebody out too. Not somebody just looking for fame or just trying to do some.
Right.
But no, what I think his point was
that somebody's going to get helped out.
Even if they are just looking for fame.
I see what you're saying.
That's like
somebody's always looking for fame.
Yeah, that's everybody always looking for fame.
You looking for a like.
What?
Who? You looking for like?
I would somewhat agree with that.
Viewers?
No, I think whatever you post online, whatever you do want to get liked or whatever.
Yeah, you want to respond. You wouldn't post it if you didn't want to respond.
It depends what I post. I want to respond.
Because if you didn't want to respond, you wouldn't post.
No, sometimes I just want to post it because I need to read it back when I go back in my Instagram.
But like I said,
it depends.
But with the homeless thing, whatever.
Don't you look like it?
I'm gonna say like with the homeless thing, like I feel like because I've given money to people. Like my biggest inspiration for doing that is what was the movie called Pay It Forward. Yeah, and that really played big on me back in the day. Yeah. So like I do something like that. So I do something like that. Like I gave the dudes like, hey man, you got some change, this and that, whatever. I think I'll have at that time was like a 10 on me, and I was like, hey, here, bro, here. And he was like, oh, thank you. Gave me his full name and stuff like that. And he's like, man, I can, you know what I'm saying, this and that. I said, man, just pay it for it. And just keep it moving and stuff like that. But I think like in that situation, my mind never went to, hey, I need to go post this. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Or make this a spectacle. It was just.
I put it on Facebook.
Yeah.
Like,
I just did this.
Day I gave him $20.
Yeah.
Man, I'm blessed. I got $100. That type of stuff.
Yeah, no, I don't. And that's why I say I don't really agree with everybody posting that.
I think some people go into those situations with the idea of I'm gonna go viral with this, I'm gonna put this on to get likes. Yeah,
or it's just gonna be, or even if it's not about going viral, it's about just getting
attention.
People, the people that they know follow them, get their attention to be like, so that when they go out somewhere, like you go back to homecoming or something, and now everybody's like, man, I remember when you did this, and that.
I acknowledge both of y'all. Mm-hmm. Y'all are great men sometimes, and sometimes y'all just get on my nerves. So
it's all good. We appreciate you.
Bless your heart.
Anyway, we back, and so. All right, so anyway, like back to what we were talking about, just like getting acknowledgement and getting credit for what you've done or what you think that you deserve credit for. Because I think what this kind of stemmed from was we were watching that whole Soulja Boy thing.
You think he deserved credit?
I think that Soulja Boy, he's a little off right now, and I really believe something wrong with him. But
ain't nothing wrong with Draco.
Big Draco.
But Big Draco has an issue. But at the same time, he ain't necessarily wrong. He wasn't telling the truth. But he had some truth sprinkled in there. Truth in there. What did he lie about, y'all? He had truth sprinkled in there somewhere. Like it was some truth.
He had some fabricated things.
Okay, I thought so.
The whole game system and stuff like that. Like he getting sued by Nintendo for that shit.
Yeah. But
yeah, okay, I thought I read.
But the thing is, I have to give him some credit for that. Also because it was the system that he picked up was a system that was already made by some Chinese company, and he just saw it and was like, if I put my name on this, then you'll sell. And so he got that company in order to make the sales, and he actually made some money off of it. And so,
Did you buy it?
No, hell no.
Why?
But because I just don't trust it. It doesn't even look like it's trustworthy. When he was showing it to people, it was like,
tripping. Who bought this shit?
I don't know who bought it, but it don't look like nothing I would buy. But I can give him credit for having the eye for something and seeing something business wise and be like, you know what, I can capitalize off this and I'm gonna start this business with it. That's cool. I mean, he's wrong because Nintendo's suing him, but
I hate. I gotta say this.
What you hate?
I hate how a lot of stuff gets proven right a lot of times. Like how they always say about black people, right? Now how they say, if you ever heard them talk about like how they use like the different monkeys, whatever, on set for like different shows, stuff like that, and how they make the monkeys like talk and look like they talking or whatever case we do all the actions.
Yeah.
They say the way to get them to do that is by loud noises and shiny things and stuff to make the monkeys pay attention.
So you think we're like that?
I think we are like that in a lot of ways because Big Draco came on there talking about, hey, I got the biggest comeback in 2018, and they're like, nah, you lying. That's not true, whatever the case may be. But the whole point was, regardless if he lying or not, he made enough noise in that interview, enough excitement that everybody paid attention.
I wasn't even worried about Soulja Boy. I didn't even want to listen to the interview because I don't really like him.
I heard people say like, damn, Soulja Boy still alive?
Dog, I was really like, he got money still? Like that?
No, and I knew Soulja Boy was still going to have money because of all his residual income because he actually did a lot. Like I said, he was one. He's not lying. He's one of the first ones on YouTube.
Yeah, he did. And
he did a lot of
I never
production.
thought about that. Like when he was naming everything, damn, he has been out here for a while.
Yeah, and if you listen back,
I had to go back and listen to his songs. Then I was jamming hard.
When we were at the address,
they played all his shit.
He said, "Oh, y'all gonna respect Big Draco in here?" And they start playing.
At every week, I ain't gonna lie. Oh,
Soulja Boy had some
in his home.
He played that bird walk out with it.
Yeah. He was playing all the Soulja Boy shit. And it's a lot.
I must have jammed the whole time.
It was
hits.
He actually did. He brought himself back.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
maybe he's smart.
Y'all, and one of the things
he's playing dumb on y'all.
And like this is kind of off subject a little bit, but at the same time, one of the things is that I'm not gonna call him a genius for this, but if he is actually trolling like this on purpose and like he's planning this out like this, he actually did a very good job because if you notice, anytime somebody's name is in the news, their streams go up.
Yeah.
Because everybody's listening to
Soulja
Boy. R. Kelly's music went up, even though he was on TV for sex cult shit and shit that was infamous.
Because we wanted to hear that something in their music.
And the other thing is,
I'm trying to listen for Drake shit or like somebody that stole something. I'm like, let me listen to that.
Hey, the other thing is people out there that don't know who the hell that is. Like they don't know who Soulja Boy is. Soulja Boy's last big hit was like 2008, shit like that. Like it was a long time ago.
All his hits was like around 08 to 2010.
Yeah, but all before 2010. 2010 is when he got
started.
So like that's like 09.
Yeah, that was 09. So, but then you have people that were like, let's say somebody was born in 2000. Mm-hmm. They probably didn't listen to much Soulja Boy, but they like 18 right now, about to be 19.
You're right.
And so now they gotta go back. He had all this.
My little cousins listen to Acknowledgment.
I mean, they would have been kids at that time, so they probably heard it. But I'm saying like you're gonna go back and be like, oh yeah, this is I remember elementary school, and then go back and listen to it.
You're
so like it opens up, and it opens up like okay, so for like middle school kids weren't really around for that.
So do you think he's getting recognition from what he accomplished, basically? Because he was the first, like, entertainer on YouTube or
I think he never really got the praise that he deserved. But these antics that he's doing now,
he's getting them now.
Making everybody go back and really look at the catalog.
Yeah, because I was just like, okay, Ariana, what's her name?
Ariana Grande.
Yeah, she did steal that shit. I like the song though.
What song?
That 7 Rings do go hard.
7 Rings. You gotta listen to it.
I gotta listen to 7 Rings.
I love it with the ponytail. She said she bought it.
Hey, he posted that, and that's the thing. So when I watched it, because I just watched the interview like Saturday. Oh, that's what I did Saturday, I think. Was that Saturday?
Yeah, you saw me about it.
I kept laughing. I had to stop watching it.
No, okay, so that's what I did Saturday. Was I was watching the interview, and as I'm going through the interview, I'm like Googling, because he kept saying things like, "Hey, Google this, YouTube this." Nigga, I Google and YouTube every bit of it. so I'm going through it, and like one of them was that he said that he had the Versace beat first, and so I went back and I found it.
Yeah, okay.
And that song was the Versace beat. It was an old hit my swag or some shit like that, like that he had from like way before.
So he had it first, And the dude sold it to him or something?
He sold it to him and to the Migos, but it blew up with the Migos.
They can do that.
And that's what he said on the interview. He was like, who did he say did that beat? I forgot who he said did it.
But they can.
It was Zaytoven. It was a Zaytoven beat. And he said, he talked to the Migos about it, and the Migos was like, man, it happens all the time. Sometimes they just sell beats to 2 people. Like, if it don't hit with the first person, I mean, they're not going to just trash the beat. Like, nobody really heard it. So why not just use it for real and let it blow up?
That's messed up.
So, I mean, I guess he got the beat from Zaytoven first, and then Zaytoven gave it to Migos, and it blew up with the Migos.
So it's the Versace one.
Yeah, it is the Versace beat.
You know what? I can see him on that, actually. I can feel that.
But the other thing I noticed when I was Googling everything is that, like, I didn't even have to type anything in. Like, I typed S.O. in Google.
And he comes up.
All Soulja Boy.
It's OD Money Game, baby.
Like, everything came up for Soulja Boy, because that means everybody was looking up Soulja Boy for the past week.
Yeah.
So, like I said, if he's doing it on purpose, it's
Good
genius.
Yeah.
But if he's not, and this is where I have a moral dilemma there, is because, like, I don't like the fact that people are, like, laughing at him, because it's not everybody laughing with him. Like, if there's something seriously wrong with him, then, like, I want him to get the credit.
Seriously wrong with him.
You don't think anything is wrong with him?
I mean, he might have been on some, like, I think he may be, I don't think it's that much wrong. Okay, hold on.
I think he suffers from a type of depression.
He probably does. I think he takes care of his family.
I'm sure he takes care of a lot of people.
He did say he tried to commit suicide.
I can tell that you can
but
tell.
What made me mad a little bit, nobody talking about that. Like, they just skipped over in the interview, like, hey.
Because nobody really cares. And somebody mentioned this.
Like, he basically put it out there.
I want to say.
I apologize to my fans, and I'm like, nobody gonna talk about that no more.
I want to say it was like Joe Budden's podcast or something. He was talking about how, like, mental health is a big deal now.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, and like I said, Joe Budden had suffered from, like, drug addiction and all that kind of stuff too. And he was saying the thing that he doesn't like is that people are exploiting this mental health thing. It's like people are seeing that there's something wrong.
Yeah.
And instead of, like, actively, like, trying to help, they're trying to see it. Well, can I get an interview? Can I get an interview? So
everybody's trying to market it.
Yeah, they're gonna market it. So they're like, they getting Kanye West in.
But isn't he doing the same? Isn't he doing the same thing? You have your fiance basically on there with postpartum depression, and you talk like
they worked that out with Mona Scott. I don't like Mona Scott for that reason.
You have her on there. You could tell something's wrong with her, and you basically are talking to her crazy too on a reality show.
It makes a good story.
But they that shit is not real.
Oh, it's not real?
No.
Some of the,
I mean, it's like, it's real situations. It's real situations, but a lot of it is staged. Like, they discuss it before. Like, they have pre-production meetings before they record this stuff. So, they, like, a lot of that storyline stuff, like, it's based off of some reality, but then they act it out so that it can be even bigger and more.
I remember somebody made a video about when Jules Santana told his kids, whatever, he was going to jail. They was like, the little girl looked like, damn, Dad, it's like the 4th time you done told us already.
Right. They probably did that. They had to reshoot it a few times. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not like real reality. I mean, it's reality, but it's not real.
I guess I don't like how he be talking to her. I'd be like,
yeah,
that's Joe Budden.
That's
like,
how he talks.
Yeah,
but it's horrible. Like, you are a very arrogant ass nigga.
Like, that situation, like they say, the way they say they stage a lot of stuff, situations like them to be in the same places and some kind of arguments they stage. But then, like, some stuff they just be like, okay, y'all gonna be in the house today and just talk about y'all life. So some stuff be just general stuff that comes out. So that might have just been a real situation that just came out.
Be reality. Be real reality. Don't be trying to stage me with nobody. That I don't.
That's the whole point. Like, that's what people sign their contracts for, though, in those reality TV shows.
Then it ain't reality. Mona Scott just living off y'all. Beautiful.
Yeah. And the thing is, I feel like everybody knows that, but then I get realizations that people don't really know that this shit ain't real.
No, people think it's gospel because Love and Hip Hop, stuff like shows like that, Black Ink and stuff like that, that's the new soap opera.
Yeah, and that's all they're trying to do is.
But it makes us look so bad.
I mean, it's just, it only makes us look bad.
It makes us look bad.
Yeah, it only makes us look bad if we really think it's real, and the fact that everybody thinks it's real is what makes us look bad.
Okay, I do watch Black Ink. I can't lie. I watched it. But Love and Hip Hop, I don't. But Black Ink,
I don't watch none of it. I don't like watching that stuff. So, but I think that
I had to watch it. I had to figure something out.
But yeah, just going back to the whole mental health thing. Like, yeah, like I don't like the things being exposed on there. Like you said, postpartum depression or anything like that. I don't think that stuff being on there, but
like they just diagnosed her with this shit on it. I was like, I don't know what this girl going through, but now y'all, I forgot this ain't real anyway, so y'all just throwing anything.
Yeah, they put storylines together. I mean, some of it is partially real, but a lot of it's just storylines.
She look like she's like going through.
Oh, I'm sure she really is going through it. I mean, they get the storylines off of what's really going on, but when you actually watch it, you're not watching them react to it.
Then she keep calling him old. Bitch, you knew what you was getting into. This nigga almost 50.
Yeah, like they say, like
come on,
like
man.
they know that's an issue in their situation right now. They be like, I want y'all to talk about this and stuff in y'all life. What's going on right here?
So yeah, they're gonna start crying and stuff because it's a real issue, but they stage it so that they can get it on camera.
But
They're like, let's get this on camera.
Fucking with. This ain't no young dude. He old.
I don't even want to talk about love and hip hop.
Anyway.
Because that whole shit is stupid to me.
Oh yeah, but like I said, for people, but going back to what you was talking about, like people exploiting mental health issues, whatever the case may be, too.
Because that's the thing now.
Fame. Because it's the thing, like you said, you have the Charlemagne book, whatever, case of mental health. It's like mental health is like the new fad right now. So
it's really a fad, but I mean the problem with the fad of mental health is that it's real too.
Yeah, and like I say, even with him writing, like I said, with Charlemagne writing the book and stuff like that, that's his real story, his real truth about how you feel about stuff. But somebody sees that and be like, okay, let's capitalize off this because mental health is popping right now. Mm-hmm. And now you get real stories get misconstrued, whatever, because now people are taking it for just to make financial gains off of it, versus actually figuring out what's the real problem and how to help somebody. Yeah.
And because I think in reality, just to draw back to the Soulja Boy and the appreciation and getting credit thing, I think that if they were having real interviews with Soulja Boy, and it was like, okay, so you said you did this, we want to make sure that we're giving you credit for what you did, the accomplishments that you have, and then we need to get you back to reality also, because that's what's really going on with Soulja Boy. Is he needs to come back to reality because he's off a little bit. But I think that, like I said, he's making valid points of things that he deserves credit for, but at the same time, it's like I don't know what we could do differently for him to help him, because I want him to get the credit because I think everybody should get credit for what they did, but at the same time, I think he needs help because he's a little off. Yeah, he's a little off.
I don't think he got the right people in his camp.
Oh, definitely.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That becomes a whole other question and issue. Like you saying, we asking the question, do you think you get the credit that you deserve in whatever walks of life, whatever you're dealing with, whether it's work, family, friends, whatever the case may be. But then you also ask the question, are you getting the help that you need in the same kind of different areas?
Or are you putting yourself in a position that you can receive the credit? I mean, because you may be doing great things, but let's say, okay, take for example Joe Budden's situation. If you notice, what I've noticed just from listening, because I actually listen to his podcast and stuff, and I noticed that his delivery is bad. So you may not be getting credit, or you may not be getting recognized for your accomplishments, for the things that you do, or the way that you deliver. Because your delivery sucks. And
you're right, my delivery do suck some places.
Yeah, and so you may be doing a great job, like for me, because I've always been a person that I'm a deep thinker, so I always think that I can give good advice. But it took me a long time to realize how bad my advice was because my delivery would be bad. For example, and I can't do this because I'm fat, but let's say somebody's a personal trainer and they tell you need to get your fat ass in the gym. That's not going to be very motivational for a lot of people.
So you might be telling the truth.
I mean, you telling the truth.
But you won't be my trainer no more.
Exactly. But he could be a great trainer. How are you ever going to know he's a great trainer if he tell you your fat ass?
You're right. I will stop training.
But he may sit there thinking, man, I'm not getting no credit for all this great work I'm doing, but my nigga, you not setting yourself up in a position to get the credit that you deserve.
Your whole delivery is goddamn wrong.
Yeah, so
he I get results, but nobody want to fuck with me.
Yeah, nobody fucks with me.
It's trainers like that for real, y'all.
I know. I'm telling you, it's people like that in general. That's what I'm saying. That's just an example.
Because of their mindset, if I give you tough love, then that will go ahead and
thank you.
Get you where you need to be.
I don't like this tough love
and
shit.
again, that's dealing with the person itself because you have to know who you're dealing with. I can be an asshole to you, and that gets the best out of you. But then the next person, I can't.
It might
be that
not
way.
work.
I have to be someone else.
I may need some type of compassion or some type of motivation more than this tough love shit. That ain't gonna make me move. I'm not a mover with that. I don't like tough love. I get enough toughness out here in these streets.
Bang.
So yeah, I was like, what the hell was that?
That's my new move.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, no, but like I said, I think personal trainers, that's just an example, because I think that people do that with all walks of life. But it could be like if you're at work and like you always getting shit done, but then when you go to present to people, you be like, man, what the fuck? Why y'all ain't give me no credit? Like all of a sudden, nobody wants to really give you credit no more, because your approach to them is like they don't like you as a person. So they don't like you as a person.
Like you say at work, if your friend and shit like that, if your friend talking about, bitch, you stupid. All the time, but if you like, damn, bitch, I want to hang with you. Why Ashley don't call me no more? This is that. Like, who want to deal with you?
I'm a great friend. Yeah, you good and you take care of people, but damn, like you talk shit to everybody that you come across.
Yeah.
Don't nobody recognize you as a friend because they don't want to deal with you. Like something about you is sometimes keeping you from getting the credit that you deserve.
What's keeping me from getting the credit I deserve?
What do you think is keeping you from getting the credit that you deserve?
These hoes out here hating. Next.
It's more of a thing that you got to be more intrinsic about. Like you have to take in an introspective to where you can be like, okay, what am I doing that could help me get the credit that I need, that I deserve? Because you may be doing everything right. Because a lot of times people that aren't getting the credit they deserve, it's not because they're not doing the shit right that they need to do. It's because as they do the shit right, they're not setting themselves up to be in a position to where people are recognizing it, or they can be recognized.
Ain't no position to set me up.
Well, I mean, if there ain't no position to set you up, then what can you do?
Just stop talking to those.
You should do what?
Stop talking to these hoes.
Stop talking to what hoes?
Hoes at work.
Oh, never mind, Ashley. I mean,
Lost cause.
yeah,
What?
Ashley ain't budging.
Ain't budging.
So anyway, but yeah, like, so if your thing is that you want credit for something, you got to make sure that, for one, you're doing everything right. Because some people say, "Damn, I'm doing such a great job," and they ain't doing shit
I just
right.
don't like when I'm doing stuff right. I don't get no acknowledgement. Let me mess up one thing. You definitely gonna hear about that shit. One thing.
So let me ask you this before we end this segment. So, do you do things for acknowledgement?
No, I do it as my job.
So why do you need acknowledgement?
You know, why do you care?
Oh, I don't care no more.
You don't care no more since the past like 5 seconds, or you don't care no more like in general?
In general, I was just bringing it up like I don't care no more.
Oh. So you do things, okay? Because I'll use it for example, because we can get away from the work thing. We can talk about stuff for
like
family,
family,
friends.
I'm never gonna get acknowledged.
Relationships.
Relationships.
Like sometimes people do things in relationships, like they buy flowers. So let's say somebody bought you some flowers, and not you. Let's just say a woman, because I can't pick
It
you.
could be me. No, pick me, pick me, pick me, please.
Ashley gonna go.
No,
totally
I
left.
promise I will not. I'll be straight. Let's go.
Okay.
He bought me some flowers.
He bought you some flowers.
Bro,
Let's just say somebody bought you some flowers, and all you say is, "Oh, that's so nice."
How you know flowers?
You don't know how to hold
Yeah,
flowers.
do you really
Tell
know?
I ain't got nothing in a while. I ain't got nothing in a while. How you hold a bouquet, nigga? Wait.
Oh, put it in a vase or something. But so let's say all you say to him is, "Oh, that's nice," and he feels like that's not enough acknowledgement. Do you think that you can do things for people and not get the acknowledgement that you feel like you deserve, and still feel like you can still do things for them? Because like for me, I don't know, I feel some type of way.
I do, but I still feel some type of way. I'll be like, I can't, as real as I can be, I probably will tell you as I do this for you and you don't appreciate me.
All you say is thank you.
Yeah, or like, yeah, just thank you. And you expect me to always do that.
Right.
Yeah,
So you think you would probably cut things off if you're not getting the acknowledgement that you feel like you
probably
deserve?
still do the shit, but I'm still gonna talk.
You're gonna be mad about it.
Yeah.
There you go.
And, okay, my take on that is, I'm gonna go from the other side because I've had this conversation recently and stuff, and I just think it's because people want to like say, no, you just say, oh, you can be the person to say, oh, thank you, right?
Mm-hmm.
It really mean thank you, and somebody be like, yeah, I need more than that. I think that ain't enough.
Yeah.
But then my thing is, and I guess since getting older and stuff like that, you always hear that, hey, I need this. Your words mean nothing. That was all about your actions. And stuff. So I'll try to concentrate on more on my actions.
What you
showing.
supposed to do?
Huh?
What you supposed to do?
Well, I think you need to.
Because I've heard that I don't show it, I just say.
And I think you need to be cognizant of both.
Mm-hmm. Whatever. Shit,
no, you're not supposed to.
No.
And I feel what you're saying because that's how I feel. Like, what the fuck I'm supposed to do?
What you want me to do, sir?
What you want me to do? I'm supposed to shoot off fireworks and shit. What the hell? And
like, I don't know what to do.
But at the end of the day, it's about you knowing that person. And like, I can show you through my actions all day, every day. Mm-hmm. But I do need to acknowledge you verbally more to let you know how I feel. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, I don't know what's going on with you. And with your head and what you need.
You're right.
So it's like I say, if that doesn't take a second out of my day just to give that a little bit more encouragement to you.
And I think one of the other things that kind of has swayed this conversation for people is social media, because you get to see a lot of times what people do for people, or like, you know, people acknowledging people for what they've done and stuff like that. Like, let's say you get on and you see this girl talking about, oh my God, my boyfriend's so great. He did this, and that for me. Mm-hmm. Or my husband did this for me, and she posted all these pictures and shit like that. Mm-hmm. And then you doing stuff for somebody, and they don't say nothing to nobody. They don't tell their friends. No. Nothing. And
can't even be on their Snapchat.
Yeah,
you gotta hide in the back. All you see is blonde hair.
Put emojis over your face and stuff. Yeah. So like you see that and you like, well, I mean, look at how these other people acknowledge their significant other, and then look how you not acknowledge me. So I mean, not only is it a personal conversation, now it's become a societal conversation.
Yeah, because that runs in the trouble, because you see that and they come at you with that and everything, but then you be like a week later, you be like, yeah, that person that you was propping up, they ain't together no more.
That's true. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know dudes that post their wives all the time. They be cheating on them.
Yeah.
That's why I had to like learn the hard way with that shit. Like,
and that's why
you
I feel
can't look at social media and think.
And that's my point of finding. You got to find that balance.
Yeah.
So you have to give on both sides of that. You have to be words of affirmation, and you have to show your actions too. Yeah. Like, you just can't be one or the other, or being like, well, hey, I show you this and that, because I have to learn. I just can't show you. I do have to say that.
Yeah. Like, I decided, like, on my social media, I was gonna show more love to people, like that. I was like, you know what? When I was around you, made me feel like a better spirit, or like good positive energy. Because the girl that did my makeup, as soon as I met her, she gave me a hug. Like, I like people like that. I just ain't like that. Like, I'm very like shy in the beginning. Then I show you love. I gotta see where you at though first.
Right.
And she really cool. Love her to death.
I mean, and that's the thing. I think, and the reason I brought up the whole social media and the societal aspect of it is, I think that as far as acknowledgement and credit goes, or even just, you know, feeling that way, it's a real personal thing, and it needs to be more personal.
I got a question. Do men even look at that? Like, y'all get, because women, we look at it.
Look at what?
Damn, that's nice. Like, a dude bought a Lambo, you
know,
for the anniversary. I'm bringing over the number, my bad. Anyway, I'm just thinking.
But no, but yeah. I mean, men will like, see.
Damn, she bought that nigga that.
Not even just buying things, but just that like, you know, you get acknowledged different places, and then, you know, you get recognized for the thing. Because like for me, and I guess this is a personal thing. Like I said, it's more of a personal thing. For me, I appreciate people showing appreciation for me to other people, because I'm like, okay, well now I know that what I'm doing is affecting them, because it's affecting them to the point where they want to tell other people about it.
Yeah, I like that. You do not have to post. Like, I'm not big on social media like that. But if you told somebody word of mouth, they're like, yeah, you Ashley, so-and-so.
Yeah.
I'd be like, oh, they think of me in a positive way?
Yeah, and you
I always get that.
Yeah, you
Thank you. I always get on me. Anyway.
I think, like I say, we just those words of affirmation, like telling somebody the good job or appreciating whether it's in a relationship, work, whatever case may be. I think is important and is needed to say, because you see how much you get out of somebody. Mm-hmm. Like the more you encourage somebody, the more they be like, you know what, I'm really gonna do good doing this, or hey, I want to have that feeling again, or have them say that about me again. Right. So I might even go harder, or the case may be. So I think that's important for people to realize, like, hey, it might not really mean nothing to me personally. Like I might not need that kind of those affirmations, whatever the case may be. But whoever I'm dealing with, whether it be a coworker, a boss, a friend, or a partner, they need that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And I did see that this weekend work.
Yeah.
This girl came and told me, she's like, man, thank you for telling me good job.
Yeah.
And I was like, you do a good job.
So I think just to round it all out, I think what's important for this is to take a look at yourself personally, be real introspective, kind of think about what you like and what you feel like you deserve credit for, how acknowledging your credit looks to you, and so that you can express that to people. If you feel like you're not getting the credit that you deserve, you can express it in a way that's understood by them, and because now you understand yourself, and also be open to listening to other people saying, "Hey, you're not giving me, you're not acknowledging me the way that I wish to be acknowledged."
That's the importance of a good conversation.
Exactly.
That's different. I don't know how to deal with it.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like I said, most people we deal with on real personal levels, whatever, we never really have a real conversation beforehand, before shit pop off.
Yeah, before it gets bad,
like
before it's an argument.
We're never proactive. We always reactive to the situation.
Yeah.
And I think that's the worst conversation for me. Somebody telling me I don't acknowledge them, and I feel like I probably do.
And the thing is, you need to have that conversation before it happens. Because if you do it when it happens, it's going to come an argument. Because you'll be like, look, I did this for you. You ain't do shit. It's
probably going to be an argument anyway. Because I'm like, what you say? I just know I'm going to be defensive.
And that's why I say you have to be introspective and think about how you like it, but also make yourself open to have that conversation with somebody else, because you can't be defensive in that conversation.
Right.
You have to be able to be open and be like, okay, I'm listening. What do you need from me?
I'm not ready, Tyrone. We're not having that conversation.
Yeah. So until you're ready, don't do it.
No.
That's the point. Don't do that until you're ready.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Anyway, so we're gonna round this out real quick. We're gonna move into the Woosah segment.
Okay.
So for the Woosah segment, I wanted to I'm gonna touch on just a quick what's this shit called? A psychological theory. So one of the psychological theories, I wanted to kind of start doing this more, is kind of introduce different techniques and theories as far as counseling and therapy goes. One of them I want to talk about is what's called the family systems theory. It's by this dude named Murray Bowen. All right, so Murray Bowen, this is a long time ago, born in like the 30s or something like that. And a lot of these theories and stuff come from people from a long time ago, usually old white men, things like that. But this one was, excuse me. This dude was like, he came up with this idea that everything comes from your family system. Like a lot of the stuff that happens with you goes along with how you were raised. Some of the theories are a little, take them how you want. But like one of the things he said was that he feels like birth order plays a role in what your mentality is. So like firstborn kids are going to act a certain way.
Okay.
The babies act differently. That's where that theory comes from. It's the family.
Cool.
It's the family, family dynamic, family systems theory.
Okay, tell me about the baby.
Well, I wasn't gonna get into like each different part. Why, you the baby?
Yeah.
Oh, well, not y'all different. That's enough. Y'all bad usually.
No.
But but anyway, so like one of the theories that he had was that like the big thing that I wanted to touch on was just separating yourself from your family, because like I said, a lot of your mentality, a lot of your psyche comes from how your family unit operates. And a lot of times what happens within your family, traumatic events within your family, are going to shape you into the person that you are. The way your mother acts towards you is going to shape you. How your siblings are around you is going to shape you. If your parents get divorced, that's going to shape you, and all of that. So what they do when they talk about family systems theory is they try to kind of get people to individualize themselves, so that your family shit is here and you over here. You are separate from your family shit. So your parents may have gotten divorced, but that's not you.
Okay.
Because a lot of people be like, my parents got divorced. What am I gonna do? How did I contribute to this? How is my marriage gonna work after this? And like you have to be able to separate. So part of that family systems theory is to be like, okay, there's family shit and then there's me. And my me shit is just shit that I'm gonna deal with on my own. I gotta personalize everything that I'm dealing with for myself, and everything isn't have to be based on the family. But a lot of it, and a lot of therapists use this kind of theory whenever they ask you questions like, you always hear when you go into therapy or whenever you see it on TV, they be like, so how's your relationship with your mother?
Yeah.
That's always like the first thing people say whenever they have little fake therapy sessions or whatever. How's your relationship? How was your childhood? How was your family unit? That kind of stuff. So that's based off of kind of this theory. So it's important to know that, as you are exploring your past, because a lot of times people, you're going to go through your past in your mind in order to kind of get a better understanding of where you are. It's important to realize that, everything doesn't have to coexist within the family. Everything that happened to you when you were younger doesn't have to shape you now. You can be a different person outside of whatever happened in your family. So if you have a chance, I think everybody should just, you can research this stuff. If you Google it, this dude's name Murray Bowen. It's called the Family Systems Theory. So if you ever just want to look up some therapy stuff, like these are things that you can learn on your own, and it'll help you. It'll help guide you, and it'll help you even if you are in therapy and your therapist starts talking to you about certain things. These things will come to your mind and you'll be like, oh, okay, I've read about that before. And it'll help you to kind of deal with things that your therapist is trying to work through with you as well. So I just wanted to put that out there real quick for the Woo Sauce today so that people can kind of, I'm going to start throwing out a little bit more theories and techniques so that you can see them. You'll be Googling?
Yeah.
You should. I think that it's important. I think it's important to be well versed in everything.
I can tell my family about this. No.
So you're not?
You're not. You're going to try to tell
At
your
least
family.
y'all know me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, good luck. Good luck with it.
I'm good. I'm doing better. I don't do that no more.
You don't do it no more?
No, I haven't did it. I did that in a long time, since like June, July.
What? Talk to your family about that stuff?
Mm-hmm.
Well, you need to have conversations with your family so that, and I think that's the other part of it that I didn't really get to, but I think that part of it is that you do need to have conversations like that with your family so that you understand things that, may not have been understood when you were younger.
It's easy to say you have conversations, but you probably be talking to yourself when you dealing with my family.
You don't have to be talking to yourself. It's going to be a hard conversation that some people are not going to respond.
Yeah.
Some people are not going to respond, but it needs to be brought up. All you got to do is bring it up. If it don't come of it, if nothing comes of it, that's fine. You already knew nothing was going to come of it.
Yeah, so
but if you don't bring it up at all,
no.
if you don't bring it up at all, then you'll never have an opportunity.
Yeah.
I'd rather you take the opportunity to bring it up and get shut down than just not bring it up at all.
Shut down? Yeah, I'll work on that. Because me getting shut down, I'd be pissed. So
You have to learn how to not take everything personally.
It is personal.
It's not personal. It's
personal. It ain't business.
If you know that they don't like to talk about that stuff, then it ain't got shit to do with you. That's who they are.
I know. That's what I said.
Right, but you may need to. These things may need to come out though.
For what?
I wouldn't force it, but I think you should.
It's your birthday. Next.
All right. So, anybody have anything else before we get out of here, sir?
I think we good for the week.
Oh, okay, good. So,
because it ain't really coming up this week. So
nothing I know of.
I say nothing's coming up this week, really.
Nah.
I'm staying in the house this weekend.
Chilling. I'll be in LA next week. No, that's next weekend. Yeah, next weekend I'll go to LA. Yeah. So.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
I got so quiet.
You sound like you finna say something.
No,
You just stopped.
She's gonna be in LA party.
Yeah.
Oh, nigga, hell no.
Like say she thought about it for a second.
Right.
And she caught herself. Good job.
Mm-hmm.
Nah,
but,
I wasn't gonna. No. Anyway.
Yeah, as always, we hope you laughed a little, learned a lot. We hope you find a remedy to whatever's troubling you. This is What's the Remedy Podcast.
All right.
Amen.